Welcome to Sistah Speak, The Walking Dead, The One to Live. I am Sistah K.
I am Yam.
I'm Tasha Michelle.
And I'm Dena.
And welcome to episode number 125. Let's get started. Woohoo! Welcome, Sistah Speak Nation. We are back for another awesome podcast. And as you can see, I have three beautiful Sistah Speak family members with me today. I would love for you to introduce yourselves to the nation and let us all know when you started watching The Walking Dead, how you felt about it over the years, and then how you feel about this series in particular.
Hi, everybody. We are back. I'm back. The world is all right. Rick and Michonne are together. Let's get started. My name is Yamilet, but everybody knows me by Yam. I was thinking, because I knew that I had to do this. So I was thinking like, wow, how did I get hooked up with The Walking Dead? And I remember it was Shalita, which everybody knows. And Shalita, shout out to my girl in Philly. So Shalita invited me because I don't know how we got together, but the internet brings people together. And because of True Blood, she introduced me to the sisters podcast, and I started to listen to the True Blood podcast. And then when The Walking Dead was going to start, somebody mentioned it, and I started to see the announcements and commercials for the TV. At that time, I didn't have AMC, and I remember I told my brother, "Yo, check this out. AMC is coming out with this mad sick new series about zombies, man. Do you think, can we do this? Can we add like AMC?" Because at that time I was rooming with my brother. So my brother was my roommate, and he liked the idea. He liked the look of it and says, "Let's go check it out." Because we both used to watch True Blood as well. So we got our subscriptions to AMC and we start watching. Man, and I was hooked on the very, very first episode.
Yes.
And that was it for me. Like then I went through the whole series. And when things are starting to fall apart, I was pissed, I was mad, I was salty, I was enraged. But then we started to go to the cons, Shalita and I, and we started to meet the actors and interact with them. I even had the opportunity to interview a few of them. And we had fun. So we get to know these people, get to know the project, and we say, you know what, these people deserve our backup, our support. And like a lot of people have said, I'm not a quitter. If I'm going to back you up, if I'm going to support you, I'm going to support you to the end. I'll be mad with you, but I'm going to support you to the end. And I watched the whole series. The only thing I never got fully on board was with Fear the Walking Dead. I think I only watched first season. And then I said, nah, this is for me. I never watched the one with the kids. I watched Dead City with Negan and Maggie. I'm still out a little bit on that one, but it was a good show. And I saw the first season of Daryl Dixon, which I'm still wondering who asked for that.
All I'm saying, in Paris, no less. In Paris.
And yeah, tell me about it. It is difficult for me to go from here to New York, and all I have to do is catch the bus of a ferry. Now, in the middle of the freaking apocalypse, this man finds his way up to Paris.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say on that. But we're here supporting Rick and Michonne.
A new series.
It's a new series, and the fact that the only reason I was on board is because Dena and Andy are both executive producers, and Dena is writing. This is a woman who knows how to write for theater, and you need to engage audiences in theater. She knows character development to the T. And we are seeing that. So I am here
agree.
for that. And I hope it continues.
I'm with you 100%. Thank you, Yam. Thank you.
Well, I have been watching The Walking Dead from the beginning. I didn't stick with it, but I watched it from the beginning, and I've also read the comic all the way through. There are many nights when I just had to finish it and I went to work like sleepy because I was just hooked. It's like the writing, the story, everything is just fascinating. I grew up loving horror movies, and my favorite genre is zombies. So this was perfect. But it's so funny because to me, it's more about the relationships with people than it is about the zombies or walkers, I'm sorry, than it is about the walkers. And I think that I don't think they've really explored that enough, you know, dealing with uh, dealing with how people interact with each other. Yes, the zombies are a threat, but the more seasons we go, the people are the threat, like other people, other groups. So I love it. I did tap out after Rick left. I was really disappointed when they killed Carl. I mean, there was just a lot of reasons that I just kind of tapped out. But I made it all the way up until I think a little bit after Rick left. And the spinoffs I really didn't get into, but my favorite character is Michonne, and I love Rick, so I was absolutely in when I heard they were doing this.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Tasha.
All right.
So I didn't start at the very beginning because I didn't have cable at the time, and I was not spending money on cable. But a lot of my friends, because we're all geeks, we all watch stuff like that, and True Blood, all this stuff was out, and it was just like I gotta watch this show. So second season, I binged the whole first. Well, the second season was about to come out. I binged the whole first season in a day. Just one Sunday, I was just
Oh,
like,
wow.
blah, 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 blah. I'm just gonna watch it. And I was like, wow, this is way different than I expected a zombie product to be. It was like you said, Tasha, like it was about the people. And it was just like, wow, this is interesting because it's not just gory and horrible. It's like a real story. And so, of course, I got addicted. And man, that second season, I know it's weird. A lot of people say that season was boring, but I'm sorry, that farm situation, by the time Sophia came out the barn, I was like, man, this show is crazy. Also, Carl, stay in the house. Like we just said that. We say that to children. We still say that to children now. Carl, stay in the house. Because it was just so intriguing and good. And so that was about 2012. And then I watched up until it was after Rick left, but it was like a while after Rick left and Michonne was in charge. And then I just kind of got bored with a lot of stuff. It's like they recycled the same story, just different villains. And I was like, okay, you got me for these many seasons, but I'm a little tired of this now. And then when I realized that they were going to finally end it, I was like, oh, not without me or not. So I went and binged. And when I say I binged the 10th season, and then the 11th season was like 23 episodes, I was killing myself trying to get through those episodes. Ooh. But I wanted to make sure I finished it because I hate not finishing shows. Yeah. I hate that. So, I mean, I, like with True Blood, like even though they kind of went off the rails and changed a lot and did a lot,
finished it.
I was like, no, there's no way I'm not finishing this whole show. That last season, I was bored to tears, most of it, but I was like, no, I'm finishing the show. So, same with Walking Dead. I mean, by the time they got to the Commonwealth, I was like, just die. Everybody just going to die. Can everybody just die? I feel like everybody's tired at this point, right? But then my best friend and I, when we used to watch it, it was funny because before they even came out with the hashtag Rick Shone, we were saying Rick Shone. We was like, third season when she came, they need to get together. Oh yeah, they need to get together. And then they finally did it. And we were like, yeah, that's Rick Shone. And so then when I found out they were doing the show about them, I was like, well, my first thought was, okay, but what about RJ and Judith? Y'all just left them with Carol or somebody. Like, who got RJ and Judith? But then I was like very happy about Michonne. So that's why I'm here. I did watch like the first episode of Dead City, but I can't get with this Negan Maggie thing. And I hated Fear of the Walking Dead. The first couple of episodes, I was like, I hate this family. I hate everything about this. And so I didn't go to the other one, The World, or whatever the other one was. I didn't even watch that. And I'm not watching Daryl in Paris because, I mean, come on. It's like Emily in Paris with zombies. Like, what is it? I don't understand. So,
pretty much.
I'm not gonna watch that. But this one, I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna keep going with this.
Awesome. So, as y'all know, I fell off middle of season 10, the one before the final season. So I don't know nothing about the Commonwealth. I've been getting all my information about the other shows from all of y'all. So I thank you for that because I have no clue. Because I do not plan to go back. And I guess I am a quitter because I will quit a show in a minute if I am not feeling it. And I could not even hate watch the sucker anymore. I was just so irritated that they still had so many characters alive, like talking characters alive that weren't dying. Eugene, Father Gate, all of them. They needed to go. And yet here we have our little baby Carl was gone. Rick was gone. Michonne was gone. But by the time I stopped, she had left. I was like, okay, those were my favorites. Even though little baby Carl was annoying when he was little, he grew on me. And they killed him. So I was like, you know what? I can't. So, but when I saw, again, I say this last time too, when I saw that promotional tour they were doing, they did an interview, and I saw their chemistry just in the interview again, I was like, oh shit, they got me. I'm hooked back in. Rick and Michonne together. Hello. Yes. And I am so happy that we're now on episode 3, and we can say it's been 3 very solid episodes so far. Very good episodes.
The name is Bye, right?
Bye. Yes. So let's get into this episode. Bye. Starts out with, what did it say, several years ago? Mm-hmm. And Rick is walking through this city that they still don't say what the name of it's called, if they renamed it. I guess they call it Philly still, because I think, excuse me, Jadis calls it Philly later. But he's walking through the city just looking around, and he notices those wind turbines going, which I think that's going to come into play later because Michonne notices that too later. And so there's a reason why they're looking at those, I feel like. But anyway, he's walking down the sidewalk, and there's old Jadis, trash heap lady, with a terrible wig.
She bought an Amazon.
Oh, you mean Temu?
Yes. That looks like a Temu wig.
Yeah, Temu. There you go.
$1.99.
I was like, they even got her wigs looking ratty-tatty.
Raggedy.
That's never seen a wig looking like it's got naps. And I mean, I was like, why is her wig looking like that?
This is why I was like, let me throw on my crazy Amazon wig for this, because I feel like whoever the hairstylist is clearly does not know what they're doing.
No.
What are they doing on their show?
They
Jada's
don't.
looking a mess.
At least it's not just
looking a mess.
Regular.
Like, even with the short.
Remember when I liked how they did that. They did those really quick flashes of her back in the other seasons where she had that, those bangs and like the short. What is that called?
Bob.
Like that.
Bob,
that
thank you.
Weird bob.
But like real severe cut bob.
Mm-hmm.
She looked terrible then.
But it makes these new hairstyles look, that looks great compared to what it looks like now.
You're right.
You're right. I was like,
thank God Leslie Ann Brandt did not let them touch her hair. She's like, I'm coming with my real hair.
Okay.
I suspect she actually requested the dramatic things because of an interview that I was watching with Andrew Lincoln, and he said that she puts a spin on things that you can never think it's possible to do, but she can do it, and she has like an input and a character. So I think she come up with those things too.
Kind of shock you or make you remember
and
her
like,
character.
I like get her hair being a certain way when they were in the trash heap. It's just without they're in like an actual city with like artisans and like people with talent.
and still trashy.
And it's still terrible. Mm-hmm.
Is it Pollyanna? Pollyanna McIntosh.
McIntosh.
She's she is a great actress. I mean, she's a really great actress, but her character just
yeah, she has really striking features too, but man.
Yeah. And she's tall.
She is tall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the thing about The Walking Dead, though. They spared no expense on good actors. Because a lot of these villains, like Sarah Morton when she was Alpha, like these are some good actors.
Mm-hmm.
They really pick some good people.
Mm-hmm. The Claim people, the Wolf people. Back in the day.
Wolf. I barely remember them.
I know Jeffrey Kober was one of the, I think he was the Wolf, one of the claimed people.
Oh yeah, the weirdos.
Go claimed. And I really liked the
I forgot about them.
The wolves. I really liked them because they were freaky as hell. Because they didn't really talk much, and they had those damn W's carved in their heads. And I was like, ooh. To me, that was a really good villain. They just didn't last very long.
No.
And they just would walk up and start hacking people. Like that to me was scary as hell.
They reminded me of the Manson family.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, that's probably a good, It might be what they're modeled after, actually.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
And who was the group that, when Rick bit the throat out of him? What group was that? They weren't cannibals.
Claimed. Oh,
before they got to Alexandria.
Wasn't that Terminus? The Terminus people?
No, Terminus was the cannibals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Terminus was the cannibals.
But then there were some of those cannibals that left, and they followed them.
Mm-hmm. But that was a weird. I remember that was a group. I don't remember the name of them, but that was the group that Daryl joined in when he was chasing.
Oh, so that's the Claimers.
Claimed.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the Claimers then. If that's the group.
And then he told Rick when he saw what was going to happen to Carl, I'm not with them. That's when he told Rick, I'm not with them. I didn't know they were like that.
Yeah. You better say that real quick.
Yeah.
Before he gets his throat torn out. Well, when Rick sees Jadis there, you can see he's like, what the hell? Because apparently, up until that point, she left him to get healed, and he didn't know that she was there, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's what we take from that. But, so she's doing all her little chit-chat about fries, onion rings, whatever. Basically saying, we made a deal with these folks. We found them when we were out at the trash heap. We made a deal to give them people if they gave us supply. So we find people who aren't leaders and also leaders, and we give them over to them. Which I was like, that's kidnapping. Like, they didn't ask to go over there. You didn't ask them permission first. They're just snatching people. Which is weird to me. Like, why wouldn't you just take people who want to be there instead of snatching people up from wherever they are? But they didn't.
And also, Jadis knows that Rick is an A. So do you think she just wanted him to be with her? And that's why she snatched him?
Yes.
Because
I think so.
Clearly he's not.
I think it's two things. Like she said, I did it to repay you for saving my life during that one battle they had where he didn't kill her or kill them. And then I think it was also because she's always liked him.
But there was a thing when she after the bridge. I don't know if you watched that part Oh, you were already gone. But I remember when he blew up the bridge and she found him down on the river, she called for the helicopter. She told the people in the helicopter that she had an A. And then all of a sudden she changed it. No, my mistake. I had a B. I had a B. She switched from
I don't remember
A
her
to
saying A
B.
first. Okay.
Yeah, she said, and then she switched. She says, "My mistake. I have a B," and she changed the story. So I don't know why, but there is something in there that I guess will come up later. But yeah, definitely, she wants to jump his bonds. But
yeah. Yeah, she did that. Yeah, she did that B thing because she wanted him to be there. Because the fact that they kill the A's, and at first I guess I wasn't paying attention. I didn't catch that until he found Michonne and told her, "Don't act like a leader." And I was like, "Oh, I see what's happening. They don't want people who think." And then I was like, okay. So then when they start talking about it in this episode, I was like, okay, yeah. So that's what it is. They don't want thinkers because thinkers cause trouble.
Because they're building a society. That's why they're snatching people. They're building a society, whatever is idea of society they want people that are followers so they can easily manipulate them and tell them what to do and where to go. They don't want critical thinkers and they don't want leaders because that's going to be a problem, and it will be opposing the regime that they're building up. But they're up to something very sneaky.
They're up to something else too, because I mean, to me, you would want people like that. You'd want someone who's smart. You'd want people who are leaders that can help lead your army, you know, help you rebuild. But for some reason, they're wanting to get rid of all of them, like all of them. And then they're just dropping bombs on folks just randomly out there.
Oh,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So because they want people, like you said, that are easily malleable. They can just do whatever. But they have whoever the leaders are those people who are like, only us. We don't want anybody else. The problem with that is, though, as they die off or they're killed or something happens, you don't have people who can run things. Like, what you gonna do the next, 15 years when you're the only leaders? What are you gonna do?
True.
And no
they don't care.
And no kids, because I don't see no children in there.
Ooh.
I think they're trying to rebuild society. They want to start over and make the ideal society. Because you see it in all these movies when there's military involved, they want to be the highest up, and they want to create the society that they want going forward.
We were talking about this last week. Do y'all think that Major General Beale is the highest of the high level?
No.
Or do you think there's someone else?
I think there's others.
Yeah.
There is something that the Thorne was talking to Rick about, and I think it was something that Major Beale was telling her, and that's why he promoted her, because something like some kind of meeting of leaders is coming up, and I think in this meeting is when we're going to actually see the people in charge.
That's right. You're right. They did say that.
Be aware of, we might be surprised. What if, this is just me, my wildest imagination, what if Heath is part of that group?
Oh, that we haven't seen for umpteen years.
What if Dr. Jenner and Jackie did not die and escape, and he's part of that whole rebuilding thing? That would be wild and crazy.
That would be wild. That would
to
be wild.
tie the beginning of one show to the the other. But that's the whole universe.
Yeah, that'd be tying all kinds of stuff together.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I remember that. So when Okafor was telling them the first episode, y'all are going to go to that school, rebuild it. That's going to be our new branch base. We're going to have a meeting with all the leaders. And then that last helicopter trip that they had before he got killed, I think was them scouting out the place again after that year or however long it took them to rebuild that, reorganize that school or wherever they're at. That was a university school or something. Anyway, I I do remember him saying that all the leaders are going to come. Y'all will get this briefing where you'll understand everything until then. But then when Okafor died, I was like, okay, is Major General Beale going to continue on with them being elevated? Because at this point, do you think he knows that Okafor saved them as A's?
I do wonder, because I felt like Okafor had his own plan, different from what the plan is, and he was like recruiting A's who he thought would take the plan to the right way, whatever the right direction was going to be, which is weird that they murked him, because I was like, I want to know more about what he's talking about. Oh, he's dead. Never mind.
This plan, right.
I think he had a different plan that even Bill didn't know about. And I think that's why Rick was like, okay, I'll do it, because his plan was something that was different.
But
I do feel like whatever Bill and them want to do, they're going to just go murdering people around the country.
I still think that whatever vision or whatever plan Okafor had is not lost. Somewhere there is a wild card, and we're not going to know it just yet. They might reveal it towards the end, and that might be the cliffhanger ending for continuing a second season, if anything. But that plan is not lost. I don't think so.
That would make sense that Rick and Thorne weren't the only ones that he recruited like that. Yeah. It would make sense. They weren't. So, okay. So then Jadis goes on to talk about, they've been asking me what to ask you. I'm hoping that you'll tell them that you want to follow somebody and you could be here. You could be safe. This could be your new place. And he's like, but I can't leave. I can't go nowhere. She's like, yeah, but you're safe. I saved your life. And now she should have known he would want to go back to his family.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why she was even like, oh, just chill out. I saved your life, and I'm gonna join the CRM, and I'm gonna move up the ranks, and we can make this a great place.
We can be together.
Yeah, we could be together.
Yes.
Like, he's just gonna forget his wife and kid. He didn't know about the other one, but child.
I know, and that's bothering me that she has not told him.
You think he can handle?
I can understand why she didn't. I think he's so overwhelmed with everything that she probably didn't want to bring it to tell him just yet, because I mean, Rick's got to have like the worst PTSD ever.
Oh yeah,
because
that's true.
But I don't think I would have been able to not tell him, because right. You have a son, because Judith is his, but not his, but and that's Rick's only son. That's his only and a son, So but I think that she really did it because she was probably like, yeah, maybe not right now, but soon.
That is a wild card for her, I think, and maybe we don't know yet until this Sunday. That she might tell him, that might be what will snap him out of it. Because to me, I wanted to wait a little bit to talk about this, but since we are on the topic, to me, I want to know how far gone, because he is not all there. So he is somewhere in between. He's somewhere in between a Negan Rick and I would say when Lori died.
Lori, yep, I was thinking that.
But I think he's more towards Negan, Rick, to the fact, number one, he chopped off his own hand. What's wrong with him? Like, was he thinking through this whole thing? I don't think so. Mm-hmm. He acted in impulses, in desperation, and those wild eyes, like that tells me everything. And every time he talks to her and explaining things, he has this. I'm like, this is not Rick. This is not the Rick we know. Mm-hmm. So how much has he changed all these years? I don't think he's the same man.
No, ever since Negan, when he thought he could do anything until Negan showed him, well, not so fast. And I think that really, ever since then, I think he still has the fight, but it's not quite like it was before. He's just very. I feel like he's broken. Negan broke him, and I think he's. I think I don't think he didn't break the other ones like he did Rick, because I think Rick just felt like we can't win, and then as soon as he gets beaten once, it's like he just I don't know, it did something to him.
Mm-hmm. He gives up.
Well, especially since with Negan, yeah, especially with the Negan situation, like all intents and purposes, like they attacked Negan's people first because Negan was messing with people he already had deals with, and they jumped in the middle of that, and that's what brought Negan on to them. And so, like, he made the decision as the leader, like, this is what we gonna do, and that backfired like heavily.
Yeah, he crossed the line.
So, and I think he still has a lot of guilt with all the people that died because of that. And he's just never been the same.
Yeah.
And then Carl's gone, and
gone. But I think in particular now, after that first episode where he was like, he did everything he could, and the last straw was the cutting of the arm, and after that he was like, there's no way I can win.
That's why he was trying to kill himself.
Yeah.
He even threatened Okafor, and Okafor didn't flinch. So he was like, no, they're not even afraid of me. Yeah.
Right. Because he knew he wasn't going to hurt him, really. Because he knows what kind of person Rick is. And Rick doesn't do that normally, we'll say normally, unless he is defending himself or his family.
But here is, we're going back to what Tammy, right? Tasha. Sorry. Oh my God. I went through all the
okay.
Tasha was saying in the beginning, here is like not a show like any other. And all the other shows of zombies, you see zombies and the threat and all the stuff. But this show, particularly this show, showed you people. Like we met him one way, but after years of being in the same situation, how his character, how his personality, how his psyche, how his whole mental well-being was changing. How far can you push an individual in certain circumstances until it starts to show signs of crack? And that dam begins to crack until it finally either crumbles or holds the water in. But I think he is this close to crumble. So it's a good thing that Michonne got there on time.
I feel like he wasn't going to crumble. I think he had just resigned himself to what it was, that he wasn't ever going to get back.
But he's not a quitter.
But I think he did in that instance until he saw her. And then it all came back like in that second. But he's still not there yet. He's still not all the way back. Like he has cracked multiple times over the seasons. We've seen it. And he's all but I think this is the key too, is he's always had something else to run to or to defend or to do. And so he couldn't sit in that state because he had to go and defend his family or go save Carl from something or save the community from something. So he couldn't sit in that. But here he's stuck and he has to sit in it. He can't go. He's not the leader here. So he doesn't have the next thing to go to keep his self from going to that place. And after all of those years and trying to escape and getting beat back, cutting his damn hand off and still got caught back up in it. I think that's when he finally was like, I can't, like you said, when he was going to kill himself, but he couldn't go through with it. And I feel like he just gave up. Because what I would have done was, honey, teach me how to fly. I'll go do that. I'll go do that forward base that you want. And then I'll go on a mission and disappear. I don't think he didn't even think of that.
No.
Yeah.
He was in it until they crashed and Michonne showed up. So, and now that she's there, I feel like now it's all catching up to him and he's so desperate to protect her that now he's back to the crazy eyes, manic. Okay, I have to do everything I can do. And now he's about to have another break. And I feel like this episode we see, she's like, oh, we ain't having that. Now I'm here.
No, he was fine until he got that conversation with Jadis. And that's what sent him into more panic and crazy mode.
Mm-hmm. And also the one with Thorne too, I feel like.
Yeah. I can't stand her.
I don't like her either.
I didn't like her from the beginning either. I was just like, something about her is off.
She needs to go cash that check. I don't want to see her no more. No.
So, okay, we still... Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Now, I was going to say, it is kind of jarring because I'm used to her doing a British accent, but she's talking in her real South African accent. So like it's so weird because I have trouble following what she's saying, and I'm like looking at the caption like, what she say? What she say? Because usually she's like British and everything, and like now
and wasn't she on Lucifer?
Yes.
Yeah. And the librarian.
She had an American accent, right? In that.
Yep.
I think so.
Okay, because I was like, it sounded like her accent was kind of going in and out, but I don't know. I couldn't understand.
And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah,
she is like what's her name from the
Leslie Ann Brandt?
No, from the Whispers.
The accent
Alpha?
goes on and on.
Alpha. Yeah, that's another Alpha. That accent, he really irked me.
Yeah, because she's actually the one that played Alpha. She's Irish, I believe.
Yeah.
So it was kind of going in and out.
I didn't mind her accent. I liked it.
No, when it sounds like somebody who has problem with the prostate trying to pee. Yes.
What? I don't know that sound.
This situation that we have right now. I'm like, yo, please.
I thought it was just odd, which I liked. I liked that it made her a little different, you know. So basically, Jadis is just saying, look, I saved your life. This is what life is now. He's like, I'm going back. I'm going to find a way, which we know, you know. And then he does stop, which I didn't catch this until I watched it the second time. He does stop when he turns away from Jadis and sees something, but we don't see what it is until later, obviously. And then we get a little time jump to, what did it say, a few moments ago or a few minutes ago, hours ago, where he goes to Thorne's door and says, hey, you heard, and she's crying obviously about Okafor. He's like, hey, there's this woman that came in. She saved my life. You need to make sure she makes it through. She's an A. And I was like, why are you going to tell her? Why are you going to tell her she's an A? But I guess he kind of had to, since they were A's, say she's an A. She needs to be in here, just like we can continue Okafor's plan. She's like, well, he dead. The plan's no more. He's like, no, we can still do it. We can still continue it. I kept thinking she's not going to fall for this.
It's so weird, though, because Michonne is who she is. Like, yeah, she gave a good little speech when she was talking to them, but you know she can't sit for long. And I was like, she's going to give herself away, and everybody's going to see she is not a B, and that she lying about where she came from. Oh, I just need people, and I feel safe in numbers. Oh, but I'm stabbing and jugging and all this. I'm like, girl, calm down.
Thank you. Act like you learning or something.
Right. Act scared or something. Like, come on.
Did you see that scene? That was a great scene, though, when she was at the wall.
And just everybody stopped
her look,
just to watch her.
Not that time, but the very first time when she's at the wall and they're banging against it to get all the walkers to come. And everybody else is like preparing, and she's just like, waiting for him to get close enough. She's like, this is old hat for me. You're right. She's like, it's just a little day in the park, apparently. You know, it's just the way her face looked to me was perfect. Like, okay, this is what you're going to be doing? All right. Good. Like, and she was just on it. I got this. On it. Yeah.
Yeah, because when they were at Alexandria, didn't they have to, like, stick those walkers? Didn't they have to stick them when they were in Alexandria and they had the gates and stuff up?
Yeah, they used to do that too.
Yeah, they used to do prison.
At the prison, they used to do that too.
Right, at the prison.
Yeah, so she's had a lot of experience,
as we know. But that doggone coworker she clocked her quick, didn't she?
Yeah.
Very fast. She's like, you don't need help. You tripping. You lying. You out here lying in these streets.
Are you 3 days or 6 days?
She's like, you radiate shit knowing. So you know your shit.
And then, of course,
how do you know? I'm like,
Michonne, why are you showing out? Because then when that pile started moving and those guys were coming to go take care of the ones that were still alive, and she was like, oh, let me just go over here and go. And then the way she did it with her stance and the way she flicked the little thing around, I was like, okay, now look, you're not even trying to act like you don't know what you're doing.
Michonne cannot be fake. Michonne cannot be fake. Everything shows on her face, her actions. It's like asking somebody that's so strong to be weak. And now maybe Carol, but Michonne can't do that. It's like, I am who I am. I can't hide that.
Yeah.
Only Carol was the one that's like, I'm sorry, I can't stand Carol, but she's just so like, I'm so precious and tiny, and it's like,
yeah, it does get on your nerves after a while.
It does.
I get it though. I mean, she was getting her ass handed to her in the beginning. she kind of get her some get back after a while because she was getting that man was horrible, and then
he was horrible.
So I kind of like that she bossed up after a while.
I like it too, but I feel like the problem is they made her like the focal point of everything after that.
Yeah.
Well, towards the end, at least the seasons that I saw, she was like the focal point of everything. I was like, she can't be the focal point of every single thing. There's other characters that we could look at here.
Maybe she was the most interesting. Because, would you rather see something about Father Gabriel?
Hell no.
Exactly. So let's get that.
He should have been dead in season 6.
Look, according to the
he
comments,
did step up towards the end. He really did.
Yeah, he did.
But I would have murdered him in the very first 5 minutes
for locking out the people in the church.
Right.
Yeah, that's Can't forgive that.
There's so many people that should have been dead. Eugene, as soon as I found out Eugene was lying, I would have murked him. He would have been dead.
Well, at least he's handy. He's good with technical stuff.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And he
kind of got to look at all of it.
He grew up and he man up and he grew into his manhood and got some courage into him. So he finally, became a true survivor. So that's okay. Let's say
it just took a long time.
Yeah. But it happened. I guess Abraham
and you are
going to
have people like that, though, that survive, that just hide behind others. I love Abraham. Yes.
Oh, yeah. But not Rosa. Was it Rita? Was it Rosita?
Yeah, Rosita, yeah. Rosita was getting around, though. She was getting around.
Yeah. She really was.
I ain't judging, but I'm just saying.
But that would happen too. So that's true. Like you'd have some people that would go that route to stay protected.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
So why do you think, Michonne? Yeah, I'm about to change the topic real quick here.
Yes.
Why do you think Michonne keep glancing back at that sign that said Grimes 60A?
I think that was to show us that just like Rick obviously was their top performer enough to where they spray painted his ass on the wall.
Yeah.
She's just as good, if not better.
And that's when
she was gonna beat that. No, she was gonna beat that.
She did.
Let me get 80.
Yeah, she did. That's what she kept
especially when he pissed her off. He pissed her off. Part. She was like, "I'm a beat. It's happening today."
I also think it was about the fact that she realized how indoctrinated he had become. Too, because people
drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, because people knew him. People knew he was this guy. He's like Grimes is like the dude, and he's in the military. Like she was just like, okay, we're gonna have to do some work to get him up out of here.
But even even before she started doing her exercises or her work or whatever, when he had that conversation with Jadis, the very first one, after he went to see Thorne to help her through the process, And then we got back to their conversation where she said, well, I'm going to kill everybody that you love if you try to escape with her. And he was like, what? I mean, he was manic and weird acting there. Did you notice how as the more that she kept saying, no, I'm going to go kill everybody. And he was like, but she doesn't belong here. She's like, yeah, well, that was a choice that she made to come here. Yep. You made to bring her. So, oh, well. So y'all better stay here and live your rest of your lives. Because if you don't, I got a little file saved away. They're going to find out about you if something happens to me. I was like, damn. Then they'll find out about you. It's going to blow back on me. And I made myself a good life here. I'm not going to get... She made mention of their arrangement again, which I still don't think I understand what that is, except if that means that they're hiding the fact that he was an A at the very beginning.
I think they slept together.
I think
and they ain't talking about it yet.
Because she acts so freaking weird and jealous.
She act like she done had it.
Yeah, no, she act pissed off when Dena appear. When she appeared, as soon as she saw Michonne, she got all so sort of salty. I'm like, you ain't getting
like I just need to come and let you know, just because your girl here does not mean this is over. You know what I'm saying? Like she a sad chick.
Yeah, there's something in the for a minute.
I did not get that.
I didn't get that either.
No, I
think she wants to be a side chick.
Oh yeah. Oh, she's trying.
I didn't get the impression that they've done something.
I think she already tasted.
I feel like
well, he must have been knocked out or drunk or something.
I feel like he's been pretty low trying to get home, and like he's pretty much had to resign himself that he wasn't getting home. I feel like before he got to that point, he was probably low enough that he would have slept with her.
And I'm thinking was either her or Thorn, but then I started thinking, no, wait, what's her background? Didn't she have like a girlfriend or something like that?
Thorn had somebody she was trying to get home to.
I think it was a female, so I'm like, okay, unless she bi, but other than that, it's more Jadis, the one who is on this arena, because she got very, very salty. I'm like, only a woman that is jealous acts like that.
But no, you know what? I think Jadis wants a threesome. I really do, because
don't choke
with Rick and Michonne, because I just feel like she kind of. I really feel like that she admires Michonne, because the fact that Michonne found Rick and they're together. I think she was like, well, damn, I did not know. I did not imagine that was happening.
Happen. Yeah.
And I think she's like, man, both of y'all are, like, she even said it, like, both of y'all are unstoppable together. So I think she's drawn to power and strength, and I just think that she's just freaky like that. I think she's like, I'd hit them both.
Well, she was an artist. Obviously, she's a free thinker.
Mm-hmm. That's just what I got from it, but.
Yeah,
and I'm just gonna say, when you type in "did Rick sleep?" one of the first things that comes up is with Jadis.
Oh, what was the answer on Google?
No, I didn't find the answer.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not the only one who thought that, because people have been Googling that.
Well, there's something to this arrangement. I want them to get to what is this arrangement. Quit talking about it and tell me what it is, because. If they did sleep together, I think it was only one time. I don't think it was continually.
Oh, maybe
how they're reacting.
Okay, now maybe she hooked it up with Okafor and let him know that he was an A and he can become part of his like a secret elite. Who knows? Could be.
Maybe. Because he tried to escape so many times and never got.
It would have been warranted for being to be killed. Yes, exactly. Right. We don't know that. Could be that.
Yeah, it could be.
So is Jadis like a double agent or a spy or something, or is she just like a person that goes and investigates?
At this point, I have no idea.
She outranks Rick at this point, because she said, when they were the first time that they saw each other, that he said when he asked her, "Why aren't you on consignment?" which means like, why aren't you out there like I am killing all these fucking things for 6 years before I can get to the sea? And she just looked at him. He's like, oh, because of me. So she gave them Rick, so she doesn't have to do that part. She got to skip it. And then she said, well, I'm going to join the CRM and I'm going to go up the ranks.
Move up in the ranks.
She's already higher ranked than him. And she hasn't even been in it as long as him.
Yeah, she's playing the game. she's
playing
definitely
the game to stay. But I don't think she's a double agent.
She said they got that 500-year plan or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 500 years.
So she's like, I ain't going nowhere. I'm finna be at the top level. I'm gonna be the A.
My question is, was she bluffing when she told him that if the two of you leave, no, if you kill me, I already have some plan in place that I'm gonna let everybody know what you're up to. Do you think was she bluffing?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think she probably does have something.
Because he has tried to run so many times that she has to do something to protect herself for sure. So I
don't think Bill is that naive. Like, to me, he seems like a man who knows everything that goes around him and who is who. So you might think that he don't know, but before you know it, he knows everything.
Right.
And I think he knows who Rick is exactly. So
I'm wondering that too, because that first episode when he asked him about Okafor, is he up to something?
Yes.
Well, if you're asking the question, you already know. Right?
Exactly.
And he's just trying to see how honest Rick is going to be or not.
And remember, this man, this reminds me of that conversation you were asking, like if a general, major general, if that exists. Okay. And then I explained the ranks and stuff. This is the thing. For him to be a major general, and to me, he come from the long defunct Air Force. And then they phased into that militia, whatever thing, new world type of order. And then that became the CRM. But he comes from rank, and for a leader not to know the people around him, his resources, his subjects and stuff, they know how to read assets, and he knew what Rick was from the beginning. And I think if he sees Michonne, he's gonna know it too. But he keeping it low because maybe serve a purpose to his plans in the future. I don't know.
I agree.
I mean, he definitely told Rick. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, he definitely told them that he didn't. He told Leslie, or I can't call her Leslie, Thorne, that basically, like, I don't know about him. I still don't know about him, but you come here, because he know she down to do whatever she can to stay and go
she
up.
didn't try to escape
but Rick
4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
Rick did.
Yeah.
Even cutting his arm.
Well, because she had told him, like, I saw you. I think this is in episode 1. I saw you try to escape. So thank you for, basically saying I saw you try to escape. And yes, basically. So, because I think she would have did it too, but she was like, oh no, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, they caught him, and the fact that, and I think the fact that Rick caught his own hands, it speaks volume. That he will go the distance to achieve his goal, and that's the reason why now he's about to get promoted too.
Yeah. And remember that what was it? The Colonel? What's his name?
Beale. Major General Beale.
Yes. Remember he told Rick something about your poison and it was a quote.
You are a pharma or something like that. That you were the poison and the cure at the same time.
Yeah,
but he wanted to know.
So he knows
which one.
He knows Rick.
Yeah. I think so too.
Because he was like, Pearl. Is her name Pearl? What's her name? I'm so sorry.
I think her first name
Thorne.
is Pearl.
Yeah,
Thorne.
Okay. So because he told Thorne, let's go, because obviously he wasn't going to be able to. He doesn't know if he can trust Rick yet. So I think he's clocked Rick. I think he's probably like Yam had said, like that intel. When you're in the military and stuff, they teach you how to read people and stuff. So I think he probably already knows. And like Yam said, he probably already has all the information anyway on Rick.
I feel like he does. Like, how could he not at this point? How could he not have the info? And Jadis even, or was it Jadis? Thorne, I think. Well, when the major general takes her off to promote her and give her that briefing, and she's now what, commandant, sergeant, major.
She's sergeant. No, she is command sergeant something.
Yeah, command sergeant.
Before she was sergeant whatever, but now she is like his division, the division that he's part of. She is the leader. That's why he has to salute her, because she is the leader of that division that he is in.
But the key thing to me about that scene was she was shaken, and she says, "You haven't seen what I've seen. You didn't hear what I heard." So now it's like she is all in, and that's,
she's part of the echelon.
Yeah, and this is when I think Rick really loses it, because she's like, okay, so now Dena, whatever her name is going to reflect on me. And she obviously don't need no help. She obviously doesn't want to follow. She already knows how to do because of her actions without the wall. So now she reflects on me. And if she does anything out of line, it's going to jack me up. So I'm letting you know, I ain't letting that happen. And I feel like that's when he was like, shit, Jadis is now telling me I can't run with her. Thorne's telling me she ain't going to have my back if Michonne shows her true colors, which he knows who Michonne probably will. I'm going to have to come up with something to where she go. And that's when he came up with that plan to have her, which I don't know why he thought this shit would work. And knowing Michonne, but again, he's not in his right ass mind. He's not thinking clear.
How many years that woman be looking for your behind, and now she's finding out. And 2 days later, you're gonna send her packing.
How many people have died?
Exactly.
In the process of,
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But he gets his little couch cushion files out, and I'm thinking, now you gotta know that they know that that's in there. But whatever. Yeah. He's looking at
you know what
maps.
That reminded. It reminded me of that meme with Charlie Day where he's like doing like this and he has like the maps on the wall with all the red lines.
Strings.
It was just maps all over.
Everywhere. Everywhere. It was a cool plan though. I liked how they did that scene where they do that quite a bit in this episode, where they have a lot of voiceover scenes where they're not talking, but you hear their thoughts or whatever. I liked it.
A montage, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is funny because when she started to make her way through the tunnels, and to pick up all the supplies that he left for her, there was something curious. I don't know if you noticed, but when she picked up the bag, there was some writing on the ground, and I tried to rewind it and try to watch it. What is it? But it says, I think it said, "Tell them Scotty lie," something like that.
I think that was when he was walking through. Yeah, tell them that I tried or something like that. I'm sorry.
No, to me, it reads, "Tell them Scotty lie." It could be something like, "Tell them that I tried," but to me it read more like, "Tell them Scotty lie." And I started thinking, who the heck is Scotty? And what he'd lie about.
I didn't see the name.
I don't know. Maybe it was the handwritten thing that it's like a chicken scratchy that I couldn't make it out.
But they did make a point to show him looking
exactly.
At that.
Yes. Yeah. So that means something.
I thought it was really cool though how he basically rigged all of that up so that the walkers could eventually make them way out to kind of mask the fact that she was escaping.
He cleared that out for her. She knew her honey did that for her because she smiled like, "Oh, Ricky, you love me."
I loved it when he said, "I left something for you," and the next thing we see her,
the katana.
Yes,
I love that too.
That was so good.
So speaking of that, okay, I know this is kind of throwing off of this, but I wanted to think about that. So okay, she's using the walkie to talk to Judith, right? Like she's like, "Oh, Shoto, this is Shoto, blah blah blah," and she's been doing that this whole time. But I feel like you're in a place where now I feel like that signal can be heard. People can probably hear her doing that
she's
now.
not really doing that. She's talking, I think, to herself. Like she's writing to
Okay, so you
herself
don't think she's on the walkie, like
no, she's
in the
not
trying to
walkie,
do that?
no, she when she was using the walkie, she used that. But the funny thing is that nobody knew who she was talking to unless they know what Shoto and Daito means. And I think that is
Right.
something between her and her
But
daughter.
now that she's in this camp, she's
But you
not
don't
using
think
the
she's
walkie.
using it
She doesn't
anymore?
have a
No.
walkie anymore. They
No,
took
she
it.
Okay.
writing it. She writing it, so still
think
people
so.
don't know who she writing to, because since she is the katana wielder, long sword. That's what Daito is, and then Judith is Shoto, short
Totally
sword.
right. Yeah.
So short sword and long sword. And I found that so cute. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
It's
God,
very
that is so
cute. I don't think
sweet.
she's even writing it though. I think she's like
It's just her thoughts. Okay.
talking it like she's talking to her. Because I don't think she would even feel comfortable writing that down. Like,
Okay.
oh, I found the brave man. I don't know how they have been able to keep him here for so long.
And the fact, and I do think, and that's the reason why I don't think that she's writing. One, because Nat gave it the journal for her to write it down. So she's been journaling thing. And second, she's using key names, not real names, like the brave man.
True.
We all know that it is Rick, but in case somebody else don't, kind of throw them off
they
the
burned
loop.
it. Because remember when Rick said, "Do you have anything that will lead you back?"
Yeah.
I feel like he burned it, tore it up, something, because I don't think that they would have left her journal that talks about, I miss you, I'm going to be back to you. I don't think they would have let her keep that. They would have been like, well, if you've got kids, you're not going to be staying here. Like anyone who had kids somewhere else, I think they would automatically know the people would not want to stay. I don't know. That's my thought.
Hey, do you remember, it was some seasons ago, when I don't know if it was Rick or if it was Morgan, and they had that phone that they would talk to people, or was it Rick that had kind of lost it and he was talking on the phone? Was it Morgan? Okay, I didn't know if it was Rick, because I thought maybe it was Rick, because after he lost Lori,
he did go through a period where
yeah, and that's why I was wondering. Yeah. Okay. So I thought he was talking on the phone, and I didn't know if they were trying to make a parallel. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, but then Morgan also had a period of time where he used a radio. Oh no, it was one of those satellites phone. I think that what's her name? Oh God, that character. I have Maggie Grace. The actress name is Maggie Grace, but her character, I don't remember. She used to be a journalist, and she had one of those satellite phones. So, and she gave it to him, and they keep messaging people from time to time when he was going on, and leaving boxes with supplies and stuff on roads for people to get.
That was part of Fear, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was part of Fear.
Yeah, that was part of Fear of the Walking Dead. Yeah, I remember that.
I'm just wondering if they're trying to say something with, all, the people that are, I guess, having an internal struggle, like they're always either on a walkie-talkie or a phone or, I don't know if that means anything.
I don't know either, but I do feel like she's not really talking or writing anything because it would be too dangerous if they find out that she's got kids or something that she's trying to talk to, but I don't know. It could be. All I know is I like how they did it though. I like how they're like, and even the when she's in the tunnels and he's talking her through, like, if you love me, I think he says, I'm not coming, at last note at the backpack that you were talking about. He says, I'm not coming. This is your chance. You don't belong here. I have to stay behind to make sure you make it. And he says, I love you forever, but if you love me, you'll do this, you'll leave. And her face, when she read that to me, was like, I wish I motherfucking would. You got me fucked up, right? And I was like,
not even that, to sit there and say, if you love me.
All that, right.
All that she went.
Emotional trickery.
Let's just count the cost. She left her community Number one, that she was in charge of her children, her comfort, all this, and went through all this to find this man by
funky
herself.
ass. And then y'all funky ass is gonna tell her to leave?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you love me, that sentence alone.
Right. Oh, I would have been pissed too. And knowing who she is, she's not gonna spend all that time to leave y'all, and she's not gonna let you, like we've seen before. Because when Rick got crazy once before, she knocked him upside the head, didn't she?
Yeah.
You know she's not going to let you stay in this emotional, crazy state you're in. She's going to knock you out and get it and put some, knock it out you.
We saw a variation of the knocking upside the head. This one, she went very extreme.
Yes.
But that
you could tell by the way she took that helmet off his head.
That helmet.
Oh, that too.
I was expecting her to smack him or punch him
in his face.
And not one word. She did not say one word to him during that scene.
Word.
So you know she was pissed.
You know. And just walked off after he said that bullshit too, didn't she? Was like,
and he knew. He knew because his face after that was like bad mood. Grimes, bad mood.
Yes. You done fucked up, AA Ron.
I love that scene so much. And even when she was walking, when he found out that she stayed, and she gave him that look when him and Thorne were standing there, and Thorne was like, "It don't look like she needed any help. That she needed to be around people." And then Thorne left, and then Michonne looked up at him like, and rolled her eyes. But even when she was walking and he said, "Go around the corner," you could see her. She was like, "I don't even want to do that, but I'm going to go ahead and do it."
I think they play it too close though, because like y'all shouldn't be just trying to spend time together in any capacity where y'all could get caught like talking by yourself. Like stop doing that.
Yeah.
At least they weren't like that first time when they was kissing and stuff. Like, stop doing that.
Right.
I mean, come on now. It's been 7 years. You can help it, but at least be more discreet.
No, I get that. I'm just saying, like, when they sneak off to go do that kind of stuff, like, I'm sorry, there's always somebody watching, y'all. Come on now. They should know that.
And it's a military base, right? So I mean,
it's not. Yeah, it's not like they're inside an apartment. They're
I'm sure there's a lot of people doing stuff like that, though.
That's true.
Sneaking around doing, and they've only done it once, twice now, but they've only done it twice that we've seen. But I just love that scene. She was like, didn't say a word.
Nope.
Did not say a word.
Do you even know me?
And then, wait, what y'all think about the scene before that when he thinks that she's gone? The next day, he thinks she's gone. And he goes to Jadis and he says, "Okay, she's gone and you're going to help me make sure she is, everybody thinks she's gone. I rigged it up to make it look like she got killed. And so I need you to help." And Jadis like, "What the hell?" And he's like, "No, you're going to do this."
Even Jadis didn't believe that she was gone. Jadis like,
that's why I believe they slept together, because he got too much power over her. Even though she got all this leverage, he still got power over her. That's why I believe that he gave it up. But I did have a question about that. Okay, so he got a body that he stripped the scalp and the face off of. But like, was it a walker's body, or what? Did he kill somebody? Like, where did he get the body from? I didn't remember hearing that.
I think it was a walker body.
It was
It was a walker. So like,
you know, Rick Grimes ain't gonna kill somebody.
But wouldn't they be able to tell that wasn't her though?
Exactly.
It wouldn't be.
I would think so.
That dead. I mean, that
unless it was a chocolate woman, they would figure it out. Like, I don't know how. I mean, he would have had to be real specific, and even then. Well, he said Walker's got her. So maybe he was thinking it was going to be like a person that just got killed by a walker and ate up. Their scalp ate off. Their face ate off or something. But again, unless it was a woman and she was brown, They would have figured that out.
Yeah.
He was so convinced, though. He was so convinced.
He
was the only one.
He forgot the wife that he has. Because she, you forgot that woman. She ain't gonna leave you like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
she's stubborn. She was stubborn from day one. Day one, she didn't even want to be a part of your group, son, because she was so independent. You really think she gonna not take you back home with her?
You see this woman wounded outside the gate of a prison, holding on to the whatever
fence,
thing, the fence like that, carrying baby formula, looking at you with wild eyes. You think a person like that is gonna leave you behind? Bro.
Especially after all their years together.
Yes. Yeah. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I was annoyed. I was like,
she was annoyed too. She was like, really?
And then he goes into this speech, what we have, it's broken. It's not good no more. And I'm like, why does he sound like Tyrese? I don't want to kill people no more. You gotta go.
Oh my gosh. Well, in Rick's defense, that was after some other shit happened. So he was scared.
Yeah, he was scared at that point.
He was scared.
But it was still like, she looking at him like,
exactly.
Really?
Really?
And then she was like, okay, now I got to work harder because he crazy.
Right. Like, even the scene, like, after she basically leaves him standing there and he's all bent over like, oh shit, what am I going to do? She's here. And she's showing them who she is. And then later, Thorne and him take her to that little, whatever the hell that area is where Okafor took him. Where Okafor took him when he recruited them into the little program.
Like a
whatever
station?
That is.
Like a base or something like that?
Yeah, that little area that's all bombed up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so she was asking her, so why did you save him when you were out there? Like, why? And Michonne said, well, I saw him. He was helpless. And she said, oh, helpless? Him? Oh, I don't know about that. And she was testing her and she put her hand on that knife.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Rick was behind her and that, I was like, oh, snap.
No, don't be killing my woman now.
I was like, would he really do it though? Because how would he explain that?
Right. Well, that's the thing. When I saw him like holding his gun and she was facing her, and then when they were done and she told him, she was like, you pulled your sidearm. Like, you was about to shoot me in the back. Like, so like she even noticed like, he about to kill me over this chick, right? Like, so she ain't dumb. She knows something, you know?
He tried to play it off. I don't know if she was convinced.
Mm-hmm.
When I
was going to back you up.
When she asked Michonne, like, that man, he's not my friend because there's no such a thing in here as friend. He is family. Family. Who are you? I was expecting to say, I'm his wife.
Bitch.
But she played it down. She's like, see, so you family. I'm just Dena. I'm Dena.
I like that.
I also feel like she should have said, like, when she said, well, why did you save him? I'm like, he just fucking crashed in a helicopter. He was disoriented. He was not able to protect himself and somebody was coming after him. Like, she didn't even make it seem plausible that Rick needed help. Oh, he looked like he needed help. What? No, he crashed in a helicopter. Like, that's what happened. I don't understand why she didn't, like, make it more believable. But I guess she was like, I don't care.
I think she was annoyed at that point. Honestly.
Yeah.
She was still irritated with him for trying to send her away. And then I feel like what you said, Yam, she was probably annoyed at this woman saying, well, we're family. We're not just friends. That's too soft. We're family.
Oh my man.
And I know she probably want to say, oh, really? Like, how family are y'all?
Mm-hmm.
How close y'all trying? What you trying to say?
I don't think so. Your family and
Right.
You need to look at Jace.
and then this idiot standing behind Thorn, looking all like a oh oh oh. What am I gonna do?
Although
What
I
am I
would
gonna
have
do?
done that too if I saw her reach for her knife. Like he was stuck. He really was stuck like Chuck.
No, but she had the right hand with the knife, and then her left hand was in the side piece. She was getting ready to get the gun too. And Michonne looking at her like, really? Like really? Am I supposed to pee my pants? This is the part when I need my pee pee pants. Because like Michelle have seen all the stuff. She has put up with a lot of craziness. Like this chick, she's actually, I think she's assessing her now. And the fact that she told her that Rick is family, now she's really paying a close attention to her.
Uh-huh. I think so too.
But it's also weird to me that she busted out with that family thing when this whole time, like, she's been cussing him out left and right,
She's been treating him like dirt.
and been like, you this and you that and blah blah blah.
Drinks in his
and
house.
now you family? What is this? Fast and the Furious? We family? Get out of here!
Right.
And the minute, where did that even come from?
And the minute that she got promoted, she got that thing right up in her head, and now she's talking to him like if he's her 5-year-old and she's his mom. I'm like, what?
Well, but he's her subordinate now, so
yeah, but I mean, that thing went to her head really quick and fast and furious. Because one thing is being subordinate and being, and I'm telling you, I was in the military and I have one of those examples, and I put her in her place like in a less than a nanosecond. And I said, no, that's your rank talking. The fact that you have that rank doesn't mean that I have to respect you. You have to earn my respect. And I think that as soon as she got promoted, they used to be equals. They used to be like a co-pack partners. And now all of a sudden, she want to boss him around like, you, that you're whatever. I'm like, really? Nah, you gotta go. You gotta go.
I feel like after she got promoted, I feel like started thinking harder about all of his attempts to escape and what that means, because she now knows whatever she knows that we don't know yet. When she said, I'm in it, like she's all in it now, and all of those attempts that he was making to escape. Remember when he said, "Well, I'm back. I'm in it. I told Okafor before this all happened, I was in." I feel like she's second guessing it, especially now with Dena Michonne. Like, why are you like the thoughts the ideals that they had when Okafor of getting an A to overthrow what they're trying to do there and change it. I feel like that changed for her after she got promoted, because she said, I see what they're trying to do now. But what the hell is it? We don't know yet. But so I don't think she's still with Okafor's plan.
No, she's not.
Or Rick's plan now that he's saying it's his plan, but I don't think she's with that anymore. So now I feel like she feels like she has to like push him down so he don't get no ideas like Okafor had.
To me, I'm speculating, and I think seeing the kind of missions that they're doing, they go to places and they completely bomb places down. And even with Michonne's group, they don't know who these people are and where they're going, nothing. They just openly fire on them. I think what they're doing is, and I pretty much think that that is the reason why of the outbreak of this virus and everybody turned into zombies, that they are cleaning the population, and they're going to continue doing these bombings because they want to reduce the population to certain number and then build up their so perfect society with people that only follow in they don't lead because they are not going to rebel. So that's what I think, that it's the whole scheme here.
Interesting.
You see that it's beginning to look, oh, well, but you don't watch Daryl Dixon because it kind of give me that feel from France, whatever is going on in France. And in France, it's still worst because they have those walkers that are like a kind of radioactive. If they touch you, you burn and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah.
It's no longer like if you get bitten by them or scratch or whatever, they can kill you. No, if they touch you, they actually
It burns your
infect you,
skin.
and it burns your skin and starts to get dark. And then they also experimenting with some kind of chemical that they injected into the walker, and it turns their eyes black and the veins pop up all full of black oozing stuff, and they become like like Vane from Batman. They become unstoppable, and they go like even more mindless, and they sort of have a sentience kind of reaction, and to turn them into fighting machines, and that's when they gain speed. So that is the situation with France. What's what they
Wait,
doing?
they're fast walkers?
They tripping.
Yeah.
They tripping.
Oh, hell no.
When they get injected with that serum.
Who's
But the thing is that
experimenting with them? Like scientists or military or government?
it is a faction that I think that is part of the CRM but version France chapter, because they all dress the same. And Madame Jeannette, who's the scientist leader for this France Republic, it so looks like foreign. It gives me a vibe whenever I look at her and I say, man, is she Madame Jeannette point 2.0? Because it's just the same. But I'm telling you, in France, they're doing some crazy stuff with the walkers.
Interesting. Okay, so I guess I'm not going to go watch it, but I guess that they're trying to tie that together.
Yeah, probably.
So maybe that's why. So you know how they have been killing? Well, basically, they're leading walkers to them, and they're killing them all. What do you think they're using them for?
Fuel.
The fuel.
And that's why you see those windmills.
Turbines.
Yeah. And I think it's fuel because it was also touch up in Dead City.
Okay.
It was mentioned in there first.
So then there's got to be, like, if they are using, if like, what's her name? Jadis was grabbing people and giving it to them, and they have some people working for them and for years, and they let them go to the city. It wouldn't be far-fetched to think that they're experimenting on people then too. Because the people that they're alphas, what do they do with them? Do they just go kill them? Or do they use them for experiment? I mean, what do they use them for?
And that's why I'm thinking of Edwin Jenner. Remember when he kept looking at the brain cells and the brain neurons, and how after the virus it gets reanimated, it keeps just a minimum sparks. And I think that's what they're using A's, because the A's are leaders. So they think it's people with high intelligence or more, developed, and they might be used as lab rats. Lab rats.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting to see if we ever got to see that level.
Yeah.
Well, we skipped the scene where apparently Michonne's orientation, where she gets to go in the city like Rick did. Excuse me. And so she looks at those windmill turbine things, and then she walks down the road and she sees that artist booth that has those phones with all of the etchings of the pictures. What did y'all think about that scene?
I kind of feel like it kind of gave her hope that Rick was still in there, because he talked about them. Because he actually gave this random artist like actual names and like and stuff, and the guy was like, over time he finally said your name's Judith and blah blah blah. So I feel like that gave her hope that he was still in there. Like, okay, he hasn't totally given up. He's still thinking about us. But I don't know. Like, it's kind of weird that wherever he was when he put the bag, wherever he put it, where she found it, the phone in the first place. I forget where that was. But like I'm still trying to wonder, like, is that was one of his times trying to escape, and then like he just dropped the bag, and then
That's what I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot about that. I was wondering, do you think that means that he was there, got a bunch of these things made, hit him on his uniform or something, and then when he went out to do one of those little missions
yeah,
with the CRM, he just left them
as breadcrumbs?
yeah.
Could be. Remember, oh, well, you were not watching back then. Because at the end of the very last episode of The Walking Dead, at the end, they give you two post-ending credits. One is Michonne facing the 5 miles horde of walkers.
Oh.
She was in a horse dressed up like a sort of a samurai looking at the horde about to charge. And then they show you what she was up to at that moment. And then you see Rick. Rick was by the bay or the shore, somewhere like that, with boats and water. And he took off his boots, put it down, and his bag. And you see the helicopter comes, give it up, Rick.
Right.
We caught you, whatever. And then he lifts his hand and give a smirk.
That's where that comes from, where he's lifting his, because I was like, I don't remember seeing that, but so that was one of his escape attempts.
Yes,
maybe when he left
those things there.
Oh, and that's how she got his boots and all that.
Yes.
Oh,
little phones
I was
and
trying
stuff
to figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too. I was like, well, where the hell?
I was like, where's she? Yeah. And then when he had the boots on in the beginning of the episode, I was like, well, how did he get that? I was so confused. Thank you for breaking that down.
Yes.
I think that
he
was
had
his
those little
first
ratty boots on.
That was his first attempt to escape, I think.
That's why I was confused at first when they showed the artist with the TVs, because I forgot like that was back on the end of the 11th season, and I was like, well, I already knew he had, so how did I know he had this before now? Like, I don't. But it's from that scene, yeah.
If you notice, he was wearing the consigner's jacket that everybody keep asking, why is he wearing a CRM uniform? Is he going to join the CRM? But that's what it was, that he was consigning and he was trying to escape the first time.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that tie-in.
Yeah.
I like that tie-in.
Now, why is it that the artist couldn't get Carl's? Because, I mean, these are like etchings, right? So I don't understand how they couldn't get Carl's picture right.
I guess because
just think it was because Rick was so sad that he couldn't accept what the guy was drawing.
Maybe.
Because, I don't think he did anything bad, that wasn't good, or he couldn't get it right. I just think Rick just couldn't, like, no, that's not Carl,
He did say that for a minute he couldn't even say his name, so he couldn't get it right. So I guess that's the reason why it was only Judith and Michonne.
That was a good scene. When she said Carl's name, I was just like, oh. She started welling up a little bit, tearing up a little bit. That was sad. But when he said again, that phrase, remember for a little bit, or believe a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I think that was when she was like, oh yeah, I'm not giving up on him. I already wasn't, but just solidified her decision even more.
So he knows that he's trying to escape then.
I think he just knows that phrase because he's the one who etched it on there, right?
Yeah, but the way that he said it, it's like a knowingly, like he knows the meaning behind the whole thing. I mean, for her and for him to give her that phrase as a reassurance, I don't know. It got me a little bit curious.
Because she did say, I'm still looking for him.
Yeah, that part. I do feel like because he did clearly make friends, because the guy who became like the superintendent in like the first
the
episode,
water.
so he's clearly
Morales?
made friends, people who he feel like he can trust to tell stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe that was part of it, that he trusted this guy enough, and the guy knew that, like I said, the saying or whatever, and that, you know, because I feel like he definitely clearly made friends, because the guy gave him the tunnel stuff, even though he knew that could possibly get him in trouble.
Yep.
He
You know.
did. And I mean, this artist knew her name and what she looked like. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
If one of the CRM find out.
Yeah.
But I guess he's just a little bit more random in the city. Oh.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to ask y'all. Going back to what Jada said at the very beginning when he first saw her, and she said, the CRM, they don't operate here. They wish in the city. They don't operate here in the city. They wish they could. What do y'all think that meant? I was like, what does that mean? They wish they could. And why can't they operate in the city?
Well, who runs the city? Is that like a separate entity?
See, that's the question.
Because
they obviously let the new consignees go there to like see what they're going to get to live in at some point. I guess to give them hope for what they're fighting for out there. But then when she said they don't run here,
it might be another group. You think? You think that might be another group? And that's why they're preparing to go at war with these people?
No, but it's the city that they're fighting to protect. So obviously
I feel like whoever set it up maybe set it up so that the military was separate from the city, so it wouldn't be like the new world order or whatever they're trying to do. They want to make it like a separate.
So they don't get too much power over everything.
And like the city to be,
Wait a minute.
Because they had 3 different cities, and then 2 of them got bombed or taken out or something.
No, they have those sister cities, Portland and Omaha.
Now my question is, you remember when okay, I'm just thinking about designated survivor, and this is a normal thing. No, this is what we see in there. This is a normal thing. This is how the government it is right now. In case there's something happens, something falls, there is a special bunker where a part of the government gets to it, and it's separate, like the vice president, it's separate from the president, and they're separate from the president of the camera, whatever, because at one point somebody's gonna have to take over the presidency. My question is, what happened to that? Do we still have people in place from the old government? And this might be the reason why the CRM is limited.
That's a good idea. That's a good thought.
Because
so
here's
maybe
the thing.
Those leaders are some of those other government
officials.
Because the government always knows stuff before we know stuff. So they probably are somewhere under in a bunker somewhere running stuff.
And that is the key point in The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. That the government knew about the experiments, and what happened is that it was an out-of-hand experiment that got out of hand, and it just spread. So they were maybe they were planning, like I keep going back to this point, they were planning to reduce population for a long time globally. And that's why they did this thing, but it got out of their hands quickly, faster, whatever, uncontrollable. And now they find themselves with a dumpster fire, and look what happened.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
That would be a really cool storyline to bring in. Because you know what? When Walking Dead, remember, was that season 1 or 2, when they went to the CDC, or they were trying to find, they went to that
season 1.
I think that was the end of 1. Yeah.
I don't know. I really thought that was a good storyline that I wish they would have went back to, or it's like, let's go back and see if we can find more people somewhere, government officials, something, because everything is down. You're not going to be able to communicate, but that doesn't mean they're not there.
And even
somewhere.
Jenner said, I remember Jenner said that it was like 2 weeks ago. By the time that their survivors got there, it was like 2 weeks since the last time he communicated with friends because he thinks that they fall because he was keeping communications constantly with them until 2 weeks that he didn't hear anything else. So I think they kept each other, communication with each other until they got overrun.
That would be interesting. So that's a good theory, especially for these leaders that we haven't seen yet.
Yep.
And this stuff probably happens so much in real life. Like I just think about stuff like that happening like with COVID and like how it was like, oh yeah, it happened in China and it did this. And I'm like, then it knocked off so many people and it was just fast.
And when you
and then it got out of control. And I'm just
when
like,
you see the demographic age, it was mainly old people. So they were getting rid of the old folks first.
Yep, people with conditions and stuff.
Yeah, autoimmune. Yeah, it's like basically, I don't want to say this, but undesirables, meaning not undesirables, but because it was people that were like overweight and different things. Yeah. And then now you hear about, well, I don't know if this is it, but you hear about people saying, dropping dead now. And, people are kind of saying it might have to do with the shot and stuff. So it's really scary when you really like all this science fiction and stuff. It kind of mirrors real life. And it makes you really think like, what are they doing? What are they trying to do?
Yeah.
Well, my mom says
population is out of control right now. So
it is.
My mom says, whatever you see on TV, don't you think that is somebody's imagination? They're letting you know what is going on.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
Look, they selling that mushroom coffee right now. After watching The Last of Us, I am not drinking.
Who's drinking mushroom coffee?
It's called Rise.
It's called Rise, and then they have different other brands, but it's supposed to be better for you than coffee. And
coffee been around a long time. I'm gonna stick with coffee.
Okay, hello. The regular cocoa beans, right?
Okay, because.
Wow.
But yeah, this stuff is art imitates life, they say.
Remember Soylent Green, like from the Omega Man? I'm just saying.
People. No, there was the movie. Soylent Green was movie.
Yeah.
Telling you.
So we get after the scene where Thorne takes Michonne to that little place. Then she's now part of their little forward team. And they fly to wherever looks like they're in Colorado. Now, how are they flying this helicopter? Although she did say they made like a refueling stop somewhere. But they're flying all the way from Philly to Colorado to wherever this base is. And are trying to make sure that all the walkers stay back because this is where they're going to have their
what is it
meeting.
they call it oh God.
Cascade something?
The outliners or something like that, but they don't call it walkers.
Right.
They don't call
it them delts. I noticed she said delts.
Yes, they call it.
Which I wonder what that means.
I have no idea.
Probably a military term.
But still,
I never heard it.
Well, unless it's short for Delta, because Delta is one of the military. What is that? The alphabet. You go Alpha, Beta, Charlie,
Delta, then
Alpha,
Charlie,
Bravo, Charlie, Delta,
Charlie, Delta,
Echo, Foxtrot. I used to know it all. I used to know all of them. But anyway, so now they're going to the Colorado to kind of clean up this front line, and Michonne's now part of it, and she's asking, okay, what's out here? Why are we even coming out here? There's nothing out here. And then Thorne is telling her, well, this is where our new, whatever that place that Rick and her were preparing for, they're trying to make sure it's cleared out so they don't have to go back to zero if all the delts get through. I kind of didn't understand why it was all of a sudden an issue. Like, why was this an issue? But anyway, they're there. She's giving out the instructions. She's going to be the one that's going to that's going to take this little device in the middle of this crowd, and Rick's like, "Are you sure? Like, why? Why are you gonna do that?" She's like, "Well, Okafor, he was on the ground level when he was leading us, and I'm gonna do the same thing." And I was like, "Okay, come on now." And then Michonne was gonna be in a non-kill zone area, which I was like, "What is this? Like, what do you mean a non-kill area?"
She put her out there to get killed.
Yeah.
So it was the ones.
You want Michonne gone?
It was the ones that got loose that they didn't blow up and kill. Michonne was supposed to come get them.
Yep.
So whatever ones got past them, Michonne was supposed to kill them. Michonne was like, "I don't wait.
I don't wait for shit." And bitch, while you struggling with this damn contraption, weak, I'm gonna go ahead and push it by myself.
She went on Rocky on lifting up that thing and pushing
put my shit up and go ahead on with this. Now,
I think she did it on purpose to be petty, just to be like, "Oh, okay, you're struggling. Well, let me go take care of the light work for you."
All right, family. All right.
Yeah. While you talk about family and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rick jumped next to her like, "Let me help my mama here." Help me moving that stuff.
Yeah.
Did you see Michonne's face though when she was doing it? She was like, "Finally, I can be me in this moment." That was a good scene. But then when they went behind that tree and had that little communal moment, I was like, "Look,
I'm like,
she could walk up on y'all at any minute."
7 years, Sistah K. That's all I'm gonna say. 7 years.
Now I don't know how they contained it that long. Like they would have been sneaking to his apartment or something. Although everybody named Mama be walking in his apartment, so I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why are you hiding? Yeah, hiding documents and all this stuff. And I'm like, people just coming in and out.
Speaking of apartments,
no locked door.
No. But speaking of apartments, check this out. Now that you mentioned that, y'all remember after Thorne came in, went in his room, so excited that I got promoted or whatever. She took his car, he drank or whatever. When she left, he bolted the door.
Yes.
So I'm thinking. This fool must not be doing this, and that's why they did everybody treating that room like apartment like a Grand Central. So now he began to bolt the door.
Yeah.
Now that I feel like Jada's picked the lock.
She said somebody let her in. I think she
herself let her.
Let herself.
Let Jada.
Because they showed someone unlocking the door and then someone going in.
You know Jada's got a key from when they was bumping. You know she got a key.
No.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
And why did they make it such a point to show everybody drinking Rick's liquor? I've noticed that like every episode, it's like, let me just take your liquor. Like he ain't gonna have nothing left. Everybody.
I don't think he drinks it. Everybody else be drinking it.
I think I saw him drinking once the day that he was going to try to kill himself. He tried to kill himself. He drank.
Right. Well, Okafor, he was drinking it.
Oh.
It seemed like that bottle is always full, but you're right. Like, why am I drinking his liquor?
Yeah.
It's the best one, you know. He's an officer, kind of a higher rank. They get the better stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
so I do wonder, like, where are their quarters in regard to like the city? Like, where do they live versus? Because his apartment, they look kind of drab and kind of like.
I feel like it's outside the city. They don't live in the city yet.
Yeah, so I'm like, I feel like that's not a what you call it, a perk.
You
know? It's better than sleeping out in a tent though, or something.
Well, that part, yeah, that's true.
Or in a dorm.
I'm sure his accommodations are better than Michonne's.
I think.
Oh yeah, because they haven't really shown like where they put them, huh? Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they did.
It's still going to be a step up from the way they used to live back in a couple seasons ago. So
sure is
before Alexandria. So
yeah,
it's
probably
Alexandria was tight once they
it was
got in there.
That was nice. But I knew that couldn't have lasted that long. It couldn't have lasted.
No. No, because somebody was gonna come and try to take it. Because
snatch it.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice.
Didn't Alexandria survive? Because I think Hilltop is gone, completely gone. They razed it to the ground. Hilltop is no more. So now
Alexandria is still there.
In Alexandria, I think.
But isn't everybody at the Commonwealth now?
I think
so. What happened with that was Eugene, Yumiko, and I forget who else went with them to go find this girl that Eugene was talking to on the radio. And then once they got there and saw it was Commonwealth, and then some stuff went down and some more people came to join them in the Commonwealth.
Okay. So now is Judith and RJ, are they at the Commonwealth or are they?
Look, girl, let me tell you something.
No, they're at the Commonwealth. Judith, Grace, and RJ.
Yeah.
All the kids are.
But who knows? Right? Who watching?
But who watching them? Because Daryl gone, Mama gone. Like, I'm trying to figure out who they left them with.
Oh, but Eugene,
Rosita gone.
Okay, Eugene and Stephanie, they got a girl that they named Rose because of Rosita. So they could be watching it.
Yeah, they could be. That's true.
Father Gabriel and Ezekiel are called.
But I bet you Michonne don't know. By now, she don't know who that is. Where they at, really?
No, because that's she left them damn kids with Daryl, and Daryl left their ass.
And Daryl left. Everybody left them kids. But here's my thing. Well, then Jadis doesn't know about the Commonwealth, right?
I don't think so.
So,
but Rick don't know
technically,
that.
Right,
that's right.
But Rick doesn't know.
So does Michonne know about the Commonwealth?
I don't think
so. No,
no.
I think so.
She left to go find Rick, and
that's when
she left the show.
Gotcha.
And she probably don't have contact with him yet.
Wait. When she left, was Maggie gone? Because Maggie left with Georgie to go to the Commonwealth.
Maggie was gone when Michonne left. She was already gone to a different place.
She was at Hilltop, right?
No, she left. She left.
Oh.
She
went with another group
and Hilton
did another group.
Hilton.
And then when she came back to the show,
that group with
Hilltop, other people here at Hilltop.
Everybody in Hilltop died. Everybody.
Really? Even? Oh.
Alden was the last one from Hilltop to die.
Wait, so you mean what's the guy, the lion tamer? What was his name? Ezekiel. He's dead?
No, he
was with a different place. He wasn't from
he went to the Commonwealth.
He was from the kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the kingdom. Okay.
He was from the kingdom, and now he's the co-leader of Gabriel of the Commonwealth.
That's who it was with Eugene and Yumiko. It was Ezekiel that went to the Commonwealth. That's who it was.
They got Father Gabriel lead.
No, wait. It was Yumiko, Eugene, yes, and Ezekiel, the one, and then on the way,
and then they met Princess,
crazy princess,
crazy princess.
I like her character.
They went. She's so sweet.
She was a riot, and then they got to the Commonwealth, following Stephanie, and that's how they met. Stephanie and her brother Mercer, and they
Mercer,
they took over. They did a coup, and they dethroned Pamela Milton and her crazy bratty son.
Oh my God, that boy.
Yeah. I remember that from the comics.
Ugh.
That last season was something in.
Oh,
yes. And I'm like, why y'all giving us
it was crazy.
20 like this. 20 like Nike's 1982 with these 23 episodes. Doing? No.
That was a lot. That was a lot.
It just dragged on and on and on.
Oh no. It's like, hey, we can't do that. Now they don't even do that for the good stuff.
No.
Right. Right.
Let alone the stuff that's crazy.
But this is how you see, like, if you compare, you can see clearly night and day the difference between the show running, and don't get me wrong, Angela Kang, she tried and she did decent. I'm not gonna say completely wrong. She did decent. But with this new chapter, with this new show, you can see that everything is on point.
Yes.
Everything has a reason why, and it has a development, and you can see character development. You can see the story driven, how everything it's there for a reason to be there and not just to fill in the episode or whatever. We don't have nothing to put in. Oh yeah, put this thing in here. So now everything has a reason why.
Yes.
Because they got Scott Gimple back on this again.
But he is so tame. I think Michonne gave him that the treatment that she gave Dena gave the treatment that she gave to Rick in the hallway. She sat down with him. She said,
Don't
listen,
fuck up these characters.
We already tried your way, and that was a train wreck. We're gonna do it our way, or we are not gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it went from movie to series, because they were gonna get involved. And I bet you that he said if you don't like what she said, you don't get me either.
Forget it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad. Whatever they did to make it, I'm glad, because the story is really good.
Yes.
Right now. So Michonne runs out. Rick joins her with that contraption. It blows up. He sets it and blows it up. I'm thinking that could have been easier, but maybe easier done. It blows up. They go behind the tree, and of course they kiss a little bit. And she's like, "Okay, we can run." He's like, "We ain't gonna make it. No, we can't do it." She's like, "Yeah, but it's us. We can do anything together." He's like, "No, I can't do it." So then we see them coming back, fighting their way back, killing the rest of those walkers. Thorn has already been yelling at Michonne, "Get back on the line." Like, girl, you weren't even trying to push that thing through. Why are you yelling at her?
Yeah. She wasn't going to make it anyway.
She wasn't going to make it. Right. She would have got ate up if she had tried to do that herself.
Yeah.
She ain't Michonne. Hello. So when she sees them coming back, just going to town, Rick's going to town, and Michonne in all her glory is going to town, she starts lifting her damn gun up like she gonna do something. Yeah. And I was like, wait a minute, bitch. I know you're not.
I was hoping for a walker to come from behind and take a big chunk out of her neck.
Yes.
Didn't happen.
And then when Rick sees her lifting her gun up, he's like, oh shit, So he steps in front with a walker and kills it. And just says, look, there's only a few left. Come on, let's get them. Startles Thorn out of her whatever trance she was in to kill Michonne. And thank goodness, because I was like, nah, they bet not. They bet not.
Thorn ain't about it. If she was about it, she would have capped her and moved on. She ain't about it.
True.
You thinking about it too long, girlfriend. You ain't about to do nothing.
Right. Nah. Go sit down.
Right.
But then
I'm like, she should have been like for like 30 minutes.
She just salty that Michonne shamed her because she could not lift that contraption on. And one woman lift that thing and start pushing it like it was a shopping cart.
Right. Yep. Right.
Yep. I think that's what was really important about, like, in the episode too, when she was getting better from that gas and she was doing them push-ups and stuff and showing like she's building her strength up. I was like, yeah.
She's used to doing shit like that out there. Thorn's not. She's softer now. She's been protected for too long. But I mean, she tears them up. Like, why? Like, you shouldn't have. I'm not protecting her any longer. To Rick, she's got to go back. This is it. I don't want to see her. Rick's like, okay, I could make this work. She's like, no, not anymore. You about to see as soon as you get your briefing. She broke protocol. I'm thinking, she saved your ass. She saved the mission. And Rick was right. Like, I was trying to help her get you a win because you're the one leading this shit. She was like not having it at all. Again, I think because you're right. She was mad that she got showed up.
Yep.
Do y'all feel that once Rick does get the briefing, that he's gonna be like Thorne about it, or is he gonna be like, oh, this is crazy? No, we're not doing this. Like, how do y'all think he's gonna react to that? Because I just like you keep building up this briefing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know.
I don't think he's gonna get the briefing.
No, he's not.
He's not gonna even get the briefing. They're not gonna.
Not at this point.
No,
not at this point.
He ain't going to know briefing. Did you see the preview?
Right.
You see the previews, please.
But I mean, even if that hadn't happened, I don't think she said he was gonna get it. But I don't think that Beale would give him the briefing because I don't think he trusts him still.
He doesn't trust him.
No.
I don't think there's ever been an intention to give him the briefing. Now that Okafor gone, at least.
I think it would take something. Rick would have to do something to show that he would Beale would trust him before any of that happened.
Well, too late now.
What were we gonna say, Yam?
Too late now.
Oh yeah, right. So then we get a scene where Jadis is there. Whatever. She's stalking his ass at this point. She's there like, oh, I'm here in your little town now. I got stationed here. And I've noticed that Michonne is still alive. She didn't leave. She hasn't seen me yet. And then she's like, oh, there she is. She saw me.
Oh my God.
I was like, what is the point of this, Jadis?
I told you she want her threesome.
Listen, I gotta admire the woman. You know, she knows that she ain't got no dog on that fight, but she's still trying.
And did you see how she tried to touch him? And he was like,
gotta give her A for effort. And she tried. You never know. She said, Mom, I might get lucky. Let me keep trying. Yes, yes.
Oh, that yes thing that she does.
All I'm saying is now I want the threesome. I'm just saying. I gotta see that now.
And Rick, I think Rick knew, oh shit, I gotta go head this off because Michonne's about to say, what the F is she doing here?
He's out of luck because he had 3 women on his behind.
Right?
His woman, porn, and crazy Sally.
Yeah.
I do like that the main characters are pretty much women. I do like that. Like other than Rick.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So he takes Michonne and says, okay, I'm taking you back. Well, Thorne tells him, oh no, take her ass back. Then she said, we're going to have to take care of this. We are going to have to take care of it. Like, what you mean? Take care of it. So I'm like, okay, that means that Rick's going to have to do something because I feel like her take care of it is to Michonne. But he takes Michonne and says, look, that's when he says that line, we're broken. Everything we had is done and broken. We're no more. And I'm thinking, dude, that ain't going to faze her. What's she saying? That is not going to faze her. So as they're flying in this rickety ass helicopter, I'm like, why is this helicopter just bouncing? I'm like,
it was storming, wasn't it?
Storming, but I'm like, why is it so? Oh my! Can they land? Like, where did this storm come from? Like, why are we flying now?
That makes me think they must be over water for it to be.
Yeah, because for her to take that decision that she did, with not knowing where she was gonna land.
You think they're over water? Like, what water could they be over? Like Great
maybe
Lakes
a big lake?
Oh, yes, there was a lake.
Yeah.
When they were going towards the place, I saw it. So,
otherwise, Michonne was just like, deuces.
We finna die.
Now, did y'all see that coming? Because I did not. I was gasping.
I did.
Yelling at my TV. I was like, what the shit?
I saw her keep looking to the side. I'm like, why is she keeping? Oh, she's gonna do something. But I never imagined that she was gonna go freaking extreme on him. He wasn't expecting it. Yeah, I'm like, what? In the middle of the night? You don't see where you're gonna land? What you doing? What you doing?
I didn't see a
Did you guys
parachute or
I
nothing.
know, I was going to ask, did you guys see like a parachute on them?
No,
No.
she didn't grab anything. She just grabbed him and jumped.
She grabbed him and
And jump.
and was out.
I was like,
did y'all see like at the end when Andrew Lincoln was talking about it at the end of in a little recap thing? He was talking about that scene. Oh my God.
I'm thinking, now what you gonna do now? Because now y'all both out there. Y'all both are like, what do you call it? AWOL.
Suspicious. It's looking
suspicious. How you gonna explain?
But nowhere near.
I think she did that because she was, I mean, what else? I guess she was at her last straw.
Yeah.
It's like, I gotta find some way to knock some sense into him.
I don't think they're going to continue the charade anymore, but just in case they do, she can play stupid and say, oh, well, the door came open and the turbulence and the wind, it blows all, whatever.
Somehow
was there even a door?
There was a door.
Oh,
it was closed. It was closed when they were flying. It was closed.
Oh, okay.
She opened it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But
I just thought it was
she had to unbuckle their seatbelts too.
Yep.
At this point, it's time for them to come clean. And now let's see what's gonna happen.
So the scenes for next week, do you guys watch those previews for next week?
Yeah, because it's at the end. It's at the end of the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So the scenes from next week, like she's like, let's go run. He's like, we got to go back.
They are in a facility. They are in a facility, and they sent like a helicopter to go get them.
It looks like it's a helicopter looking for him.
But it wasn't looking friendly.
No, it sure wasn't. Because wouldn't you suspect that he, with his 4-time trying to get out, would have tried to escape again? Like you would. And I'm sure.
Also, I wonder. They said they had the that thing on their outfit that the red thing that can help the chopper be able to find them wherever they are. So I wonder, does that automatically go off? Or
or did it get pushed?
So, it's like
a tracker.
That's like the firefighters have, that whenever one of them fell and can't get up or whatever, something in trouble, it goes beeping, and then they know that it's firefighter down, so they come tracking you with that. So maybe that's what is set off. But the thing is, I want to know where they're gonna land, where they landed.
How do they survive?
Because they don't look like they broke nothing, so most likely they fell on water.
Yeah.
And I do feel like the helicopter is flying low because of the storm.
Yeah.
Yes. That too. That helped a lot.
They can't fly too high. But I mean, still, shit. I would think you would die if you fell out of one.
Were there other people in the helicopter with? I mean, besides the pilot, was there anybody on the other side? In there with them?
Thorne, was she on that helicopter, or was
I feel like there were people on the other sides of the seats, but not in their section.
It's one of those helicopters that have.
I have to look at it again, but I feel like there are people,
on the other,
on the pilot side, or on the where the pilot was.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But the thing is,
the only thing I could think that they could say is the turbulence knocked, but then they had their seatbelt on, so that shouldn't have happened. So
right, like something.
I don't know. I guess at this point it's over.
Or maybe they did. I don't know. We'll see how they're gonna get out of this. But the thing is that this episode coming up is the one that the Dena wrote.
Yep.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait to see it. Oh my goodness. Because they're going to have to do something. Like, they're going to have to make a move at some point, because they can't just not try. Like she said, we have to at least try. And he's like, no. They've got to do something.
I hope he gets his sense back, his fight back. I hope he's not so broken.
This is a good inception for her. Now she needs him like a really, bro, wake up. So for him to wake up, you got to know that you got a son that you have to go back and meet.
Yes.
So I think this is the moment for her to reveal that RJ exists.
That's a good point. Yeah. That's a good point. Like, hey, we have babies, plural, to go back to.
Yeah, plural.
Plural, which they're not babies anymore at this point.
Probably not. They're going to probably age them up.
Imagine.
I hope so, because they need a kid who can actually do something.
Wait, when she left, RJ was 5 and Judith was 6. Now RJ is 11 and Judith is 16.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so. They're definitely, well, that little girl playing Judith is probably that age now herself.
Yeah.
So they can keep her. They probably need to change out the little boy.
Judith was
she's really
10.
good.
Yeah, she's good. I don't know how they're gonna do this because judging by chronologically in the series, if Judith was 10 and she's gone for 6 years, that means Judith is 16 and RJ is 11.
Yeah.
Or more or less.
Has she been gone 6 years though?
So Rick has been gone 6 years, but I don't think she left immediately. So maybe because RJ, when she left, RJ was whatever 5 or whatever. So maybe like she's been gone only a year.
Okay.
You think?
So I don't.
I feel like at least 2, but not 5. I don't think she's been gone that long.
Yeah, I don't think it's been that long because when she left him, RJ was pretty big. He was pretty big.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know if he was how old he was, but he and then but Rick had only been gone since like now that they're meeting up, it's only been like 6 years.
And she decided to leave before or after the whispers. So I think maybe less than that. Because I'm confused. I'm like by the ending of Walking Dead, Daryl was leaving and the one saying goodbye to him was Judith and told him that he needed to go because he deserved to be happy, a happy ending or be happy, something like that. She kind of looked like a 10 or 11 and Daryl has been only like a year, I would say less than a year in France, I think, if I remember well.
I would like them. I'm sure that they have it straight, but I feel like for us, and also it's probably because I haven't watched all of it all the way through. To me, the timeline is a little bit confusing, but I don't think that Michonne's been gone 5 years.
I feel like it's been a year, about a year.
Then I don't know that she would still be trying to radio after 5 years. I don't know.
Maybe
also like that's really shitty to leave for 5 years and never come back to your kids.
That's true.
I would be mad.
But the another thing I'm seeing that I think what they're trying to do and Sistah K and I were talking about that last week, I think, that they're trying to merge all the universes to bring it like to an all war sort of a all war ending, bringing everybody from all the Walking Dead's universe and converge it in one, at least of the main ones. I don't know if they're going to do that with Fear as well, but Morgan is from Walking Dead, so maybe he will come back to Walking Dead again, so they can tie up.
I would love to see Morgan.
Okay, and that note, at the end of season 1 of Daryl Dixon, Daryl was able to make a call to Carol, reach her on the radio, and that was before he left for France. Well, before he was taken to France, because he was not supposed to go to France. He was taken because of some shenanigans, Daryl being Daryl, sticking he needed to defend somebody and he ended up in hot water and they took him instead. He managed to get a radio call with Carol, but they keep breaking up. But you can hear Carol saying, "Oh, he is back," or something like that. He's back, and he's like, "Carol, who's back?" And look, he's back. I'm like, who the heck is back? So we don't know if it's Rick, or if it's Morgan. Because for what I heard of Fear, the ending of this past season, you see Morgan walking into the sunset. We don't know if he was walking back home or going where. So, but you can hear the message to say he is back. So we don't know which he.
Yeah.
Might be Rick. No, but then people say if it's Rick, she would have said they're back because Michonne left to go see. So, but he said he's back. So we don't know.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It will be interesting if they're able to converge all those stories together into one.
My question is, with all this, like with Rick and Michonne, is like, are they gonna eventually like not have to deal with the CRM anymore, or is this gonna be an ongoing continuation? Like they're gonna constantly, cause like in The Walking Dead, obviously every season was a new bad guy or whatever, and so I'm like, I don't want them to always have to deal with the CRM. Like I don't want them to just, this is all they do is the CRM and this faction of people, and then also, how do they find the Commonwealth, or and all that stuff?
I think I don't know, but I think the CRM will be okay. I think what they're trying to do is like a sort of a end game, like what they did with Avengers Endgame. That they got everybody together, assemble every Avenger and whatnot together into Thanos, which will be the CRM for us.
To try to take them over.
Yeah, once they solve that problem, because right now that is who pretty much is the top priority of what the world it is at this point. So they need to get rid of them, and once they get defeated, I guess everybody will walk into their own particular sunsets. I guess it's what I'm thinking, and
that will
there's
be difficult because who was it that said? I think it was Thorne that said Major Bill noticed Dana one soldier out of like 7,500 or some number like that, 8,000. So they have a lot of soldiers, and they're not going to want the CRM to go down because that's what's keeping these people safe in this city. Nobody's going to want them to overthrow what's there. So it's going to be them taking on this entity that could possibly kill the however many people that are there, because if that thing falls, how are they going to maintain the safety of all those people? So no one's going to want to help them. Like no one's going to help them escape. They're going to have to do this on their own. And again, the only way they're going to be able to escape is to kill a whole bunch of them suckers to get out, so they're not looking for them.
First, Jadis.
Please. Yes. Can we fantasize? Can we fantasize? Can we fantasize how her death is going to be? What would you predict? How will Jadis
put her in a hot container?
I think a Michonne battle with Jadis.
I think so too.
Well, I'm wondering if Michonne is going to have a battle with the Colonel or the Major Peel, because remember in that one scene where they were talking about the sword, where he kept bringing up the sword.
Ooh, yes.
And,
yes.
I'm just wondering if they were
sword battle.
Shattering. Yep.
And what did she do with the katana now after she didn't leave? What did she do?
Rick gave it back. Yeah. Wow.
How is he going to explain that thing missing from wherever they had it? You know?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that sword that belonged to some old Greek fart.
Yeah.
The General Mercer in the Revolutionary War. Hamilton.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. How are they going to do this without? Because I know they want to get away, but they don't want to kill the thousands of people that are in the city either.
Mm-hmm.
That have found a safe haven, and no one, no matter how much they like him, Thorne, Jadis, they're not going to want to overthrow this place either.
Nope.
Yeah.
They've done told him that time after time. Like, its secrecy is our cornerstone of why we have this. So
But
they're not going to help.
The CRM is okay. The thing is that the CRM is such a big entity. It's like a bigger than the Commonwealth. It was easy for them to overthrow the Commonwealth because it was like a community, a small scale. But I think this is national, if not global.
International,
because I'm still thinking that France is an arm of this CRM.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how they try to show this. Now, do any of y'all, have you heard anything about there being another season?
Not yet.
I've heard rumors. I've heard rumors that they're trying to, make another season, but I don't know if that was the end game or if that's what they were planning.
Yeah, I know.
Because they said there was going to be like a 3-movie deal, and then that was it. They were going to wrap up everything, but then they changed and they decided to make it a spin-off, and I don't think, well, I don't know, that Andrew and Dena came back for 1 season only. I don't think so.
And with them having all these different spinoffs, I feel like they're not going to end it soon.
No.
They're probably going to try to milk it.
At least AMC is definitely.
Because that is an unsolved, that is a story that hasn't been resolved. Rick disappearing, Michonne went after him, and nobody else knew what happened. So they need to put closure to that chapter, so the Walking Dead can be really, really, now we can say it's done. But then you have the spin-offs. I don't think Daryl. Do you guys think Daryl Dixon show will? Well, I think I heard or read somewhere that they got greenlit for a second season. I mean, for a third season, because the second season is the Book of Carol, and that one doesn't come up until summertime.
Because it was only 6 episodes for that first.
They learned to keep. They learned. I think they've been hearing. They were listening to Sistah J saying, "Keep that shit short." And they kept that.
That's smart, and it keeps your story contained too. I don't know what they're going to be doing with Carol. Every episode is all Carol.
She went searching for Daryl.
We have enough of that during the regular seasons.
But the thing is
that's what made me annoyed with her, and I liked her character I defended her for a long, long time, and then I finally started getting tired of how much they promoted her.
She traced him all the way up to Virginia, and then from there he was taken to France. So that means that she's going to France. Then in France, you get this idiot. You don't have to watch this show because I'm gonna tell you what happened. You got this idiot going through all this sort of crazy nonsense stuff in France, and get to a monastery where he met an ex-addict nun that thinks her nephew is the reincarnation or the whatever resurrection, whatever thing that he's going to be, of the prophecy child. And then you got this kid that looks like Timothy Chalamet, great value.
That's funny.
The Walmart version of Timothy
Chalamet. The Walmart, the Walmart version of Timothy Chalamet, 10, 12-year-old. boy, that he is the golden boy, and the mission was to take him to this freaking monastery. A bunch of people die as usual, taking the kid to the place, and then when they're there, he wants him Daryl to stay because he gets attached to him, but Daryl is leaving, so Daryl leave, and he's by the shore. He went. That is the part that scene right there broke my heart because Daryl never knew his grandpa. He always knew that his grandpa fought in Normandy, but he never met the grandpa. It's the first time that we heard about Daryl's family story.
Yeah.
Again. So he finally reached the point where his grandpa was buried with a bunch of other soldiers, and he cried.
Oh.
Because he never met his grandpa. He just saw now he just saw where he's buried. And I'm like, why did they have to do this? This is too much. That was very beautiful and touching. But now he's waiting for that boat to come pick him up. And when he turns around, because he hears somebody say, Daryl, when he turns around, discount Timothy Chalamet calling him.
The little boy done followed him.
Yeah. And all the sudden you hear all these things sleeping in the tall grass, waking up. Now you have Daryl by the beach, the bunch of walkers waking up, and crazy dude kid escape running after him. Laurent. He came after, and then Daryl looking at the boat that came to pick him up, waiting for him to say or do something, and he keep looking at the boat and looking at the walkers and looking at dumb kid over there. I'm like, are you kidding me? Dude, you spent the whole 6 episodes saying, I need to go back. I don't belong here. I need to go back. and now you're standing there thinking, should I stay or should I go? I'm like, bro, really?
Well, he has to stay because if Carol's on her way,
and now Carol is on her way.
Yeah, like there's no other reason. He can't cross her on the ocean,
I'm like scratching my head, like seriously, do I really want to subject my neurons to this second season of this?
You don't quit. You're gonna watch, right? So that you can tell all of us who have quit the story of what happened. That's your mission. If you choose to accept it. Wow. Well, this was a great episode. I don't know about y'all, but I was tense the entire hour and however long it was. Just from trying for her to hide herself, she wasn't. Rick trying to get her to leave and she didn't. Thorne looking like she was going to kill her twice and she did, all of that just made it very suspenseful, and I thought a really good episode.
All them kissing scenes had me like, what you doing? Stop. I was so frustrated. I was yelling.
Now we're going to be all by themselves somewhere and they can do whatever.
At some point.
Take it off. Do it.
And do I guess I don't know how Andy's wife it's been about this thing because people been saying like, oh, he left the show because of his kids and because they killed Carl and whatnot. And I keep thinking, I think his wife told him, you better bring your bunny behind back home before I put my foot up your ass, because you've been having a lot of time with this woman. I mean, they were going all out. I was like, seriously? Like, really? And in this show, they barely touch each other. I'm like, okay.
I feel like, she knows this is his line of work. And if you're married to an actor, you have to know they're going to have, this is going to come up, or they're going to have to be kissing on people and stuff for their job. So
that's too much, man. That's too much, Michonne. and I'm, like when you look at Andy's wife and you look at Michonne, you're like, man, Michonne is freaking sexy.
I feel like what's more telling is the interviews, because they're not acting at that point. They kind of are, but you know what I mean? Like the interviews to me are more telling than the show, because that's where you be in a person.
When Andrew got that British accent and he get to talking about Dena, and I'm like, okay.
All right. Okay.
That's his TV wife right there. Yeah, his TV wife.
Mhm.
It's almost like it's remember Tony Goldwyn and
Kerry Washington.
in Kerry Washington.
Mhm.
It is I'm like having flashbacks. I'm like,
Well,
Oh,
look, even
he loved her some
with
Carrie.
that,
He loved him some Carrie
even
in interviews.
Scott Foley's wife, when him and Carrie used to do
that
scenes, was
too.
like, "We don't even do that at home, bro. What are you doing?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, seriously.
I forgot about Scott Foley being on there. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That was a good show too. That was a great show.
I know.
Yeah.
Ugh.
My CTV then too. We only got 3 episodes left.
I know.
Oh man.
And I do
Dang.
think they might do a second season because this is too
They can't
much.
finish
I
it
don't.
in this 3 episodes.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
There's no
They're
way.
not. It's been a long time, and I think at least give it 3 seasons to the show. And I will
3?
I will think with 3 seasons I will be happy. But if they want to finish with 2, that's fine. If they're going to do 6 episodes,
Yeah, if they do like a
Yeah.
10 episode
Yeah.
second season, I could see it ending. But you're right. With 6, it's not long to
no, it's not.
finish what you're trying to do. But it's real. I mean, it's real. I like it.
Yeah.
I think it being shorter, they really get to the point. You don't have a lot of fluff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
really hate they killed off the I don't want to say little guy, but what's his name? Matt? Nate?
I know.
Oh,
Jeffrey
I was like,
Matthew.
when I saw
loved
that,
him.
Jeffrey
was like-
Matthews, I think his name is.
Yes.
He
I was like, because the chemistry he had with Dena, it was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
like, and when they just killed, I was like, no. I screamed at the TV, no.
You know that they know each other from theater. That's why
Yeah.
you can tell when an actor is theater trained because it is so much richer, so much it's different. So they did a production of I think Henry the Third or something like that, where Michonne was Henry and he was like a somebody in court, and they act together and it was amazing. Like that's where they get
They had
to know each
great
other.
chemistry.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he was in the show New Amsterdam towards the end of
the hospital show.
Yes,
Oh,
he was
okay.
in New Amsterdam. He was one of the doctors in there, and he was every time
He's
I see him in
amazing.
he's good.
Yeah, he really is.
Like he just commands the screen. Like as soon as he was
Yes.
on,
Yeah.
I could not take my eyes off him in every scene.
It has nothing to do with his height. It's just his personality.
His
Makes him a giant.
Yes, it does. It really does.
Like when he just went off on old girl about her sister, and I was like, okay, who is this guy?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this guy is going off.
Because Michelle was like, "Oh, you coming back with us? You coming back?"
I wish he wouldn't make it. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes they made like rush decisions, but I think he would be a good addition for whatever remaining of time that the show was gonna run to have his character on.
Yeah,
it would have been very nice.
Yeah.
He could have. He wouldn't have been able to hide himself either. He's like Michonne.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been able to hide himself, but he would have been useful.
Yeah.
He would have been super useful.
So I was gonna say when they did whatever that machine was that Michonne had to push for old girl, I'm like, they needed to do that with his contraptions because that was some bulky bullshit.
Yeah.
And
Okay. They could have just shot in those little things that she was using for the horn.
Yeah.
And that would have been it. Or his little purple cloud thing.
Yep.
Now let's say this is me. Oh my God, I hate my brain. This is me thinking, you know, when they got her and they catch her and he was like having a little shopping cart or a cart with all his stuff in there.
Yeah.
Let's say for some reason, for some crazy stuff, his journal, whatever, when he had all his notes with all his inventions
Recipes
survive.
or whatever.
Let's say they survive and somebody got it. And now they have his inventions.
Well, that could be.
That would be good.
Because Rick did not, like, that wagon was still there.
Yep.
Yeah.
When she was doing this.
Yes.
I think he just got rid of her stuff and maps.
Her
but
stuff, yes.
Everything else was there. So they have all that stuff.
Yeah, so you don't know. You never know. Maybe Michonne, maybe they found that thing, they got a hold of it, and Michonne and Rick start building things up to escape, and that's how they escape.
And Michonne, I mean, I feel like he taught her along the way, I feel like.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
He taught her how to use all that stuff that one night before they let her go. But I'm sure over that year that they were trying to recover,
they lived, he probably together for a year.
Had nothing else to do but to talk through all his shit.
We don't know yet.
We don't know.
Oh, that was so sad. Oh my God, that episode.
I know.
Oh, I loved him. I'm gonna have to really follow him now to see whatever else he's gonna be in, so I could watch him in other stuff.
He has a very nice and spunky Instagram.
Does he? I'll have to go follow him.
You gotta go see his pictures. Like, this man is not ashamed of his body.
Oh, okay.
Yep. He'll see sexy beast in there.
Okay. Oh gosh. Well, I hope I'm thankful for y'all to join the podcast. I was just checking to make sure we don't have any feedback this week, y'all. I'm sure it's because y'all haven't had time to get your feedback in, but definitely send us your feedback for this episode and the next week to sstwalkingdead@gmail.com. We would love to hear your thoughts, your theories. Let us know what you think is happening, what's going to happen in the next episode. Before we leave, I would love for y'all to let everyone know where they can find you. And if you have anything that you want to let us know that you are doing, please do. Miss Yam, can you start us off?
Well, I am in standby at the moment, but I'm still having, I still post a few things here and there in both my Instagram pages. And my first page is Yamileth P, my name, YAMILETH_P_22. That is my first Instagram. That is like pretty much like my personal normal Instagram. And then my photography page for Instagram will be Yamilet Photography in Instagram. So I haven't been doing much photography lately, but whenever I can squeeze some jobs here and there, I've been posting. And right now, that's what we're doing. I am trying to go back to school to do my master exactly in digital photography. But in the meantime, we are just kind of taking a break, because I was mentioning to Sistah K, I am producing a musical for Easter in my church. So I'm kind of having plate full with that.
That's so exciting.
And let's see how it goes from there. And if anything comes down the pipe, y'all be the first ones to know.
Yes. Sounds exciting. Miss Tasha.
Okay. Well, I'm on Facebook as Tasha Michelle. So if you want to add me, great. All I do is repost funny things. So.
Oh, and I mean, some of those are hilarious. Hilarious. I've been seeing those a lot lately. Love it.
Yeah.
And Dena.
All right, I'm adding you now. Look, I'm adding you now.
All right.
So my husband and I have our YouTube channel, Drunk and Blerdy, where we get drunk and talk about geeky stuff and try new drinks, and sometimes we taste test ice cream. It's been going. That's been going downhill with the ice cream, boy. And we're also doing Drunk and Blerdy All Aboard, if I can get this editing to act right, where we're gonna do a travel blog as well on YouTube. So hopefully we'll be able to post some stuff soon. So catch us there.
So y'all are so good. I love all your liquor that's on your table when you're doing Drunk and Blerdy. I love it. Awesome. Thank you all so much for being here. This was a lot of fun. For all of y'all out there, check us out. We're everywhere you can find podcasts. SistahSpeakProductions.com is our website. We also have a Patreon page, patreon.com/SistahSpeak. And you can find us on YouTube as well as our Facebook group, Sistah Speak Nation, that is on Facebook. Check us out there. We have a lot of fun in that group where we talk about all kinds of stuff. Random, movies, TV, books, all kind of stuff. So check us out there. Thank you again, ladies, for being part of this podcast. Hope you had fun. I love talking The Walking Dead again with everyone.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
And with a good show.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
A good show again. Yay. All right, y'all. That is it for now. I am Sistah K.
I'm Yam.
I'm Tasha Michelle.
And I'm Dena.
We'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.